Welcome to another edition of Brownie Bites here on YouTube. I'm Daryl Ryder, coming to you from Cross Country Mortgage Campus in Berea, where the Browns have made the 41st quarterback change and 12th under head coach Kevin Stefanski on Wednesday before they flew to London for Sunday's game with the Vikings. Dillon Gabriel, come on down.
First of all, this is not about one person. Joe is a captain of this football team. We're going to need his leadership moving forward like always, and that's obvious with Joe, just the person he is. He's going to be the same guy every day. Excited for Dillon. He's done everything. He's handled everything really well since he's been on campus here. So we're just going to have to support the young man, coaches, players, offense, defense, special teams. So looking forward to the opportunity this week. Great challenge. Obviously going overseas to play a really good football team, a team that I have a lot of respect for, from Kevin O'Connell, his staff, and some great players. We need to coach better. We need to block better, catch better, run better, all of the above. We need to be better. And I know the quarterback position gets quite a bit of scrutiny. I understand that, but this is about our entire team playing better. We need to be better taking care of the football. We are -6 in the NFL. We're 32nd in turnover margin, and that's very difficult to overcome. Again, we just, I think across the board, we have to be better, and that's the we in this thing. So obviously expect Dillon to play well, but we have to be good around him. Yeah, I mean, obviously from the second he's been here, he's been working very hard, very intelligent young man. He's done a nice job throughout practice, and he's been, this whole season, he's been learning how to get yourself ready and understand the rhythm of an NFL week and what that looks like as a backup, and obviously now feel like he's ready to go in as a starter. With any quarterback, you're going to play to their strengths. So regardless of who that guy is, veteran, rookie, you name it, you got to play to their strengths. Joe was an elected captain of this football team for a reason. We believe in his leadership. He's going to be the same exact guy he always is, which I really appreciate.
The Browns ranked 31st in scoring as they averaged 14 points per game through 4 weeks. They're 27th in total offense, 30th running the ball, 20th passing it, as they'll now turn to their 2025 third-round pick.
I think, from the beginning, this is the moment you look forward to as a competitor. But, it's part of my job, to be ready, to be that, sense of hope for everyone to continue to be better and come together and create momentum for each other. So excited for that, but just also extremely focused at doing my job at a high level. Yeah, what I appreciate about Joe is just, it's not his job to be a mentor. It's his job to be a great quarterback. And I think just his openness to answer questions, it's my job to ask questions, right, and search for those answers. But having guys like him, Deshaun in the room, I think are guys that just have played a bunch of ball. So appreciate him for that. And he's a captain on this team. He's still a huge piece of what we do, and we look to him for a lot of things because he's been through it a bunch. So I think there's a ton of respect there for me and a guy I definitely look up to. And it's going to be important to have that going into this week. Initially, it's great juice and great energy, and that starts on Monday, the beginning of the prep week. That starts with just having great meetings, having great practices. So we're taking small sample sizes and bites at the whole thing and making sure that we just focus on what we got in front of us. And I think if we have a great week of prep and we continue to put that at the forefront, I think we'll continue to have that. But like I said, it's not just one person, it's all of us coming together, creating momentum together. So we can go, move the sticks and put points on the board. There is a lot of excitement, but with that excitement for me, it's just extreme focus, and I've been through weeks of prep and a bunch of them, if you go back, but you just continue to attack it with your process and how you want to accomplish that. But I think it's us coming together, like I said, not to be, cliche or keep saying the same thing, but, we have to come together and create momentum for each other so that we can create positive plays, put points on the board, and just take it one play at a time. I think it's funny because, I got a text from a good buddy of mine, and he sent me a picture of a fire station, and it's kind of like, why are you sending that, Mm-hmm. But when he sends it, he just lists the obvious, right? Like, doors are open, garage doors are open, like, things are ready to go, and, like, they're just waiting on that phone call. to like respond surgically, and like just what a great representation of like the job I had and being ready for that moment. And I think, you know, I smile because it's like a moment you prep for and you are extremely excited for, but also got to realize that it's extreme focus, and that's what I've continued to harp on. But you wait for the perfect time, you know, you're going to wait a whole lifetime. So for me, I've always been ready. Yeah, a lot of respect for what he's done, but even, you know, this year I think he's just, you know, unique defensive mind and has created, you know, a lot of turnovers, a lot of negative plays, confusion, like you said. But, you know, I think it's just going to be a great challenge for us all, you know, coming together. And, you know, we got a lot of respect, you know, in how we attacked our craft with diligence, you know, and want to make sure that we're ready for that moment. But like I said, a lot of respect for our competition. Yeah, it'll be different, but one we're looking forward to. You know, there's challenges week to week in any given week, but one that's just unique. But I think, like I was saying earlier, the excitement for, you know, being able to play in London, you know, new fans, new environment, I think that'll be a lot of fun. But also just, you know, I think they've educated us a bunch on how we need to attack this, and, you know, we'll continue to do so.
Joe Flacco will be the number 2 quarterback behind Gabriel, according to Stefanski, and Shedeur Sanders remains the emergency quarterback.
The tougher thing is just going through what we've gone through the last 4 weeks and just not being able to produce the way we've wanted to. You know, listen, when you're in the moment and you're having conversations with people, it is what it is. You look people in the eye and you tell them how it is, and that's what it is. I don't think I foresaw it. Listen, I think I said it on Sunday. Anytime you're in this league, I mean, everybody's always getting evaluated, and, you know, the job of a quarterback is to help your team win football games. So I don't know if I foresaw it coming. But listen, me and Kevin can have a good conversation. It wasn't like it was anything super long or drawn out like that, but got to the point and had a good conversation with him about it, and it is what it is. Obviously, I think there's some of those that, you know, it's like, what are you going to do? And then there's some that you look at and you really want back. But that's how it goes. They all count the same, and, you know, when you look back on it, it's definitely a part of why we weren't able to be what we wanted to be. I don't look at it that way. You know, I think anytime you're the guy and you want to be out there competing, it's difficult. But I don't think you're necessarily looking at it from that perspective. Yeah, we weren't as good as we wanted to be, and you're more so just looking at your role in that. It's not for me to worry about. You know, for me, I mean, I've said it before. It's different times, it's different years. I mean, for me, it doesn't change, you know, the experience that I've had here, and, you know, we'll continue to have here. It's part of the game. It's tough to deal with. Not getting it done. That's the bigger thing. You know, I just because you still try to look at the good experiences here, and listen, we got a long season left, so I'm still, you know, keeping my head up and still trying to live that out. Well, it's tough for me to get into all those details right now and actually spread it out, all this. I mean, I really don't want to get into it. I mean, you know, we've just struggled to kind of become who we want to be, and that's it. For me, it's just, you know, I think the best way to help him is just continue to come to work, you know, with a good mindset every day, and provide that positive energy, and, you know, see what he needs on his end. Listen, he's into it, man. He's ready to go. I'm sure he's super excited about this opportunity. You can tell he takes it seriously just by the way he studies and you know, his intent in the meeting rooms and on the practice field. So.
Defensive end Myles Garrett suffered an ankle injury in last week's 34-10 loss to the Detroit Lions. He did not practice on Wednesday. Stefanski said Garrett is day-to-day, which could be ominous if you know anything about the Browns designating players day-to-day. Right tackle Jack Conklin remains day-to-day, according to Stefanski. He's missed the last 3 games due to an elbow injury. As for newcomer Cam Robinson, the offensive tackle required from the Houston Texans earlier this week, it's wait and see how things go before determining if he's going to be ready to step in at one of the tackle spots. That, again, from head coach Kevin Stefanski. That'll do it for this edition of Brownie Bites. Once again, thanks as always for watching here on YouTube. Remember to subscribe to the 92.3 The Fan channel. With the Browns in Berea, I'm Daryl Ryder for Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.